Welcome everybody to another video on Hungry Debates. Today, Alex and I
Hello.
wanted to talk about, no, you don't speak, I'm speaking.
No, you don't
Today,
speak. I speak.
you know speak, I speak. Okay, very good. So the today's lesson, we are going to talk about real estate, how much zeros we have to put to get,
Housing.
yeah, we're
To
going to
make
talk
housing
about
great again.
make housing great again. Haga. Haga. Make
Yeah.
housing great again.
Everyone
That's
must have a shed. Two
that's
storage shed.
okay. So yeah, a storage shed. So we want to talk about real estate, getting real estate or land, so property and land, and sort of prices
Yeah.
that we know.
And can I start by saying by telling this my little experience, and then you will proceed
Go
with
ahead.
your little experience, because I was researching prices here, and I was basically going around the places asking like, what can you propose? And the two-storied house, like panel house, I don't know what it's called, like prefabricated house, square, like 150, 170 square meters, like 3 bedroom or something,
Meters,
would cost
meters or feet?
no feet. Feet would be probably like, maybe it would be 2,000 feet or something,
Oh,
square
okay.
feet. Uh, but it's like 150, 180 square meters, built not in the city, but on a small plot of land, like maybe 10 kilometers outside of the city. Here, where I am now in Cyprus, and they said the price will be 500,000 euros for a
Uh,
prefabricated house on a plot of land, in a village.
Village in a village.
Yeah, village.
Oh,
That's I have to tell you that for this market, for the local market, this is a terrible overprice, but that's the price that they gave me. On the contrary, in a former USSR country, uh, where some of my relatives live, like somebody I know, he made a similar, basically, research, and the price for the same house, without the land though, would be 30,000 euros. 30,000 euros for the same house. And the guy owns the land already, so he doesn't need to buy the land. So, uh, and essentially, it is the same type of house. I mean,
Mhm,
it's built of like prefabricated blocks. They basically, it's like a Lego constructor. They just
mhm.
bring it over to the plot, and then they just put it together. So I don't know where this huge delta is coming from, but it's the reality. So
And
over to you.
and and delta for anyone listening means the difference. Delta means difference, but yeah, where this huge
Yeah.
difference is coming from. Yeah, I mean, the UK, I mean, it's well known that basically people in my generation, it's very difficult for them to actually own their own house unless they have a very good professional job, right? Even my best friend has only recently, I don't know if he's gotten himself a mortgage, but I think he's managed to save himself a down payment for a mortgage, right? And a down
For a
payment would be
mortgage, and
20%,
now,
right? Yeah, so
right now he's entitled to pay for his entire life, basically, to pay off this mortgage.
it's going to take a while, obviously, right? So,
It's gonna
just
take him like 25, 30 years, because I don't think that, I mean, even if he makes a lot of money over that time, he will still have, well, of course, the pressure will not be the same. If he has a lot of money, he can just, pay the mortgage off. At the same time, it is better than rent anyway, because
right. Mm.
it is slightly more than the rent, but in the end you will have a house.
Right. I mean, even here in the Philippines, there's that option of rent to own. Essentially, you put down like a down payment of like 100,000 pesos, which is $1,500 or thereabout. thereabouts, right?
What?
And then you pay
How,
monthly to
how much is
eventually
that? How much is that? How
thousand
much is
six
the
hundred.
price of the house?
I mean, I don't know what the full price is, right? But and I don't know how long it would take, right, to own the house, right? Uh, probably we're looking at 1 million to 2 million pesos, right? Which is we're looking at 15,000 to 30,000,
Twenty
you know?
fifty. Okay.
Yeah, fifteen to
Well,
thirty
that,
thousand
that's that,
dollars.
that's not a bad price at all.
Yeah, I was asking my wife earlier about the prices, right? And she was explaining like for just for land, you're looking at
Mhm.
depending where you are and stuff like that. And like here in this city in Zamboanga, you can get like near the city, you can get for 200,000 pesos up to 800,000 pesos, right? So that's basically again to make that so like 200 is again about 3,000 $3,500, right? Up to up
How
to
many square meters is that? Is the plot?
well, I didn't ask her that, but
Well, that's very, very important.
right. Okay. I mean, I didn't ask her that, but I imagine when she's, I mean, I think she's talking about a reasonable size, so like 100 square meters, I think. So at least,
So
right?
that's 100 square meters. That isn't much, honestly,
I, yeah,
because
I like take that with a grain of salt,
it,
right? Take that with a grain of
okay.
salt. But yeah, but in some other more rural areas in the Philippines, like Cotabato, right? You can get way cheaper for like
Yeah.
30,000 pesos. So we're talking like $500 or $1,000 or something. Oh no, $1,000, 60,000 pesos. So like you can really
Oh,
get
that's really interesting.
yeah, like the price differential is like it's like really different. And in fact, my mother-in-law, although she couldn't continue the payments, she managed to. There was a place she was paying on installments. There was a land. I don't know if it had a house or not, but
Hmm.
there was a land which had like fruit trees and things like that, like quite a spacious land. 200 square meters or something like that, right? Pretty good size. And it was
I
200,000 pesos.
believe
So
it's much more than that, much more than 200 square meters, because 200 square meters is basically a plot of land where you can build a house on. So you'll
right,
build a house and you will have
yeah,
some space maybe for a garage or something like that.
yeah, well, or trees and space for animals and stuff. But this was like
Mm.
three and a half thousand dollars. That was the full price, $3,500 with the plot of
Oh, full
land and
price.
yeah,
Oh, that's
and
really
we could
interesting.
pay.
It
That
makes me
was in
want
Cotabato,
to
you
learn
know.
more. Makes me want to know more about it because I'm looking, some place to invest some money. Maybe I don't know, like buy some cheap land somewhere and just
Hmm.
let it
Yeah,
be.
like
Because
yeah,
I'm pretty confident that the price of land will be increasing over time. Always, it will increase because the population is growing,
right, that's true. That is true.
and yeah,
And there's
and we
development
don't get
happening and stuff like
any
that.
new land,
Right, right,
right?
right, right. Exactly. So,
So I'm pretty
mm,
confident that it will be. I mean, it's a long-term investment, of course, and it's probably not going to bring any profit. At the same time, it will not bring any damages as well.
right.
So it's like it's fairly safe because I don't think. Well, even if like a war breaks out in that region, though, yeah, if a war breaks out, of course, then the price will fall. But yeah, that is very unlikely, isn't it?
Well, the only
Uh,
risk is the Muslims, but I think that risk has been kind of killed, yeah, curbed or whatever. Basically, because this city was besieged in 2013 or 14, and by the Muslim
for how
terrorists,
long?
right? a few weeks, right? It wasn't that long, right?
Wow.
Yeah, or a few
Okay.
days, a few
But
weeks. It wasn't that long, but I,
what was it? A real like siege? Did they bring in the catapults or anything?
bullets and stuff, right? Like, in fact,
But there was no
in
catapults, no.
in the ministry, like that kind of court in the court, right, or the justice building, you can still see bullet holes in the ceiling,
Oh,
right? Yeah,
from that occasion. That's pretty cool.
yeah.
I
They
mean
hadn't
that that's
repaired it.
it's not cool at all, but yeah.
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Uh, so that was really interesting. Like you can still see the damage from the siege, right? But
Right.
any case, but from what I've heard from some people, basically, the major like leaders have been killed, and the leadership of this
Mm.
terrorist group organization has been like wiped out. They're very much like underground now, and they still exist, but their power is very much weakened. Yeah. Although they still do some nasty stuff here and there. So
Mm. You
uh
you mean you mean the
mm,
radicals, the
the
Muslim radicals,
radicals,
right?
right, right. Yeah. So
Oh, all
yeah.
right. So if I want to buy like a two-bedroom house in the Philippines, a three-bedroom house in the Philippines, how much is that?
Okay, so what my wife told me is if you're gonna buy a house with the land, you're looking at 1 million to 4 million pesos, right? So you're looking at again, let's just look at this again. So you're looking at $17,000 to a quarter to quadruple that. So that's 67. So let's
That's
say
60, 70, yeah.
yeah, so let's say 15 to 70K. Yeah, 15K to
Okay.
70K.
That's
But
that's a reasonable price.
yeah, 15K to 70K for different kinds of houses. That's the sort of range we're looking at. Uh,
Mm.
which is fairly achievable, I guess, if you have a reasonable salary and you know, um, or
Yeah,
even have
and I
access
think
to loans and stuff. Yeah.
the Philippines is an interesting place because it's definitely like it's going to develop, right? Because well,
Absolutely.
people know
Absolutely.
English. That's one good thing about it, right?
Mm.
Secondly, there's a lot of corruption like everywhere in that region, I believe, but they never had communism, which is good. Because like if you take
Right.
Vietnam, they had this this communism legacy, which is basically means more corruption. Uh,
Oh, is that what it
yeah,
means? Oh, I see. Right,
yeah,
right,
absolutely. That's the only thing that it means because like
right,
mm,
right.
because communism in itself is corruption, nothing but corruption. But yeah, we'll talk about it later. So yeah, that's really interesting because I think there's probably a lot of Japanese influence in that region, right? Am
There
I
are some
correct? Or,
Japanese,
or
but
is it
there's more
more
Chinese. There's more
Chinese?
Chinese,
More Chinese.
more
Oh, okay.
Koreans than Japanese. But there are
More
Japanese here.
Korean than Japanese.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay.
But there
Yeah,
are
because I
Japanese.
talked to
Yeah.
somebody from the Philippines and she says she worked in a Japanese company as an engineer, which is good. So yeah. Um, oh yeah, and she taught English on iTalk, but it was quite a long time ago. It was really nice to talk to her because my English was better than hers, but she was posing as a teacher, and yeah,
Okay.
that's always uh, it happens. It happens. Yeah,
Right, right.
right.
Like,
But we're not.
uh,
Yeah,
hello,
we're
good
not gonna go back
morning.
to that Cookway episode,
Good
aren't we?
morning. Good morning, Alexo. It is very nice to meet you today.
Yeah.
Right.
Talkie here on Italki, I'm going to teach you English. All right.
It
So you say
yeah,
from one
when
million
people
peso to 4 million pesos, right? So it's for like 20K or to up
yeah,
to
yeah,
80K. Let's put it
yeah,
this way.
let's make it nice and round. Yeah, 20 to
And is
80.
that specifically in your region or is it like everywhere in the
Specifically in this
Philippines?
city. In this city.
In the
So
city of Zamboanga.
yeah, Zamboanga. So Zamboanga is in the middle, which means that you can get cheaper than
Middle.
that in more rural areas, more like provincial areas. and you can
And
get
you can get more
high.
expensive than that.
Obviously,
Yeah.
Cebu and Manila, we're looking definitely higher prices for sure. Right. Yeah.
And what is the other biggest city in the Philippines? Like Manila
Besides Manila,
probably is the biggest, right?
so
There's
Manila is the biggest.
Quezon or something like that. Quezon City or something like that.
Quezon, yeah, Quezon. Yeah,
It's another
yeah.
big
So
one, right?
yeah, so you got Quezon, you got I'm not too familiar, but like Cebu for sure is a big one.
Huh.
And then you got a few like General Santos, yeah, and things like that. Yeah,
Mhm.
Davao is a big one. Mm, yeah,
All right.
Davao.
And Zamboanga is in the middle.
Yeah, it's in the
It's not too
middle,
big.
but not too big. It's even smaller than Davao. Like Davao, I don't know how big it is compared to Cebu or Manila, but it's one of like the top cities in on this sort of island of Mindanao, and
Mhm.
I think Zamboanga is smaller than that, right? So, but Zamboanga
Okay.
is a fairly populated city with 1 million people, you know, so
Yeah.
not tiny,
Fair enough.
yeah,
Fair enough. A lot of people there. Yeah.
yeah.
Are you planning to move? Maybe to Manila?
It's crossed my mind. Uh, the thing is, though, that because my work is location independent, it doesn't matter where I
Mm.
live. I can
Yeah.
work anywhere. So I can work in Manila. I can work in Cyprus. I can work here. The question is, what benefit would I get in Manila compared to here? Get
Question.
I would get I wouldn't get much benefit. The only benefit would be that my children have, there's less crime there relative to these places here in the provincial area or
Mm.
the smaller cities, right? And there is more
I'm
access
sorry.
to higher
Where's less crime in Manila? It's
in
less
Manila,
crime,
yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 because
Okay.
it's richer,
Okay.
because it's
Got it.
richer, right? Really, I think crime here
Okay.
is very much
Makes
tied
sense.
with poverty, yeah. So
But yeah, like
so
everywhere else.
yeah, and so basically,
You don't
yeah,
have the money to buy stuff, you're just going to steal.
right, or yeah, exactly. So, uh, but the problem with Manila is that there's no good anti-flood infrastructure, so it gets flooded all the time because of the
How?
hurricanes and typhoons. And the typhoons, every typhoon that comes, the streets are submerged with water, and things like that. So we would have problems with electricity and all that. It would be much, much worse here than here because here we get a bit of heavy rain and that's about it, right? Sometimes you might get some minor flooding here and there, but it's not as
Okay.
serious as in Manila because the way that hurricanes or the typhoons they develop in sort of like the eastern part of the sea, then they go in this kind of curved trajectory. So they kind of curve and they go through the center of the Philippines. They go through Cebu, which is funny because there's a lot of foreigners there, and then they go to Manila, and I'm all the way here at the edge, right? And so
Okay.
I don't get affected. So that's the first point. Um, Second point is that although there are some relatives in Manila, our family is here in the city, right? Not only
Yeah.
our immediate but our extended family members are here, and so and then yeah, the only benefit of going up there is yeah, if my wife wanted to get a local job or if I wanted to get a local job, I could
Right.
potentially earn a higher salary in Manila than I could here, right?
Have to take at least your grandma with you because I mean you have two small
Yeah,
children and
yeah.
having a
Oh,
grandma would be very convenient.
exact, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. So I think I don't see the benefit of that. I actually see more benefit in going to a provincial area, where it's very, very cheap. But then again, then my kids won't have good access to, good schooling and stuff. And by good schooling, opportunities to go to university and to get a good
Exactly.
job,
Exactly.
that's important. So yeah. So in a way, Zamboanga has the best of both worlds. It's not massive, but it is still a city. It still has access to half decent schools, you can, if you go through the school system here, you can still graduate as a doctor or engineer if you wanted to, if you are willing to work for it. Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I can see what you mean. So anyway, so let's go back to the real estate. And I just remembered a friend of mine who bought a house in Georgia for 15K, and he renovated it a bit. He had to put in another 10K, and the house is beautiful. It has 3 bedrooms. Like that's why I'm talking about this two-storied house with 3 bedrooms, because that's exactly what he got. Yeah, and it's in the coastal area by the sea. It's not far away from the tourist hotspot, Batumi. And yeah, it was very cheap, and it had a lot. It has a lot of land.
So
That's how you can
Georgia, so Georgia is kind
buy
of similar
things
to the
cheaply.
Philippines in that way, right?
I think it may be a little bit more expensive than the Philippines, but I'm not sure. I would say yeah, probably it is the same price level,
Right.
price
Within the,
range.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's cool. But you are right that, you know, the Philippines will develop more because I can already see that in this city. We have already a new shopping mall being built. We have I see shopping centers being built and constructed. I see condominiums being built, right? I see there are cafes sprouting up here and there. There are grocery shops sprouting here and there. People are opening up businesses. There are
Mm,
condominiums being built. There are shopping centers being built. So,
right.
yeah. So there's a
And
lot of
because of the recent,
activity.
the recent political developments, I briefly had a look on the prices in Venezuela,
Mhm.
and they have some nice offers, nice things to offer. But honestly, I think it's too early to think about it. But yeah, the price range is more or less like that in the Philippines and Georgia, even cheaper at the moment. Well, yeah, because the
Yeah.
country is literally a shithole right now. But there are big expectations that it might really pick up and start growing. So yeah, might be worth considering.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what would be interesting to talk about in the next one is, like actually how to go about buying this stuff, right? Because for
Oh
me,
yeah,
for
that
me here
that's
in the
really
Philippines, I have a Filipino wife, so I can buy everything under her name, right? And
right.
so yeah,
Yeah,
I think
no, she'll kick you out.
no, I mean I can as far as I'm aware, I can own it jointly under mine and her name.
Right.
I think
As a
so. I think
spouse.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but I think
either
it
way,
got legalized pretty
yeah,
simply because you're a spouse, right? What the
exactly.
hell?
But I know that you can't really the Filipino law is very protective of the rights of the land and stuff. So in other
Mm,
words, you do need to have a partner that you can trust who will you can have the property under their name or something like that. You know,
right.
so that's kind of complicated.
So I,
Or
as a
or
foreigner,
you or
cannot just go and buy. Is that what you mean?
you can lease because I know that you can lease land, right?
Oh,
Foreigners are able to
it
lease
doesn't make
land.
sense.
Yeah, I mean that's different, right? That's a different thing. Um,
Is that
and
a like lifetime lease, or is it like 100
99
years
years,
or
99
99
years, yeah.
years?
Yeah.
That's a
That was
lot,
a
but
recent.
that's
That was a
that's a
recent
lot,
thing.
by the way. Yeah,
That was a
that's
recent. That was a recent
but
move that
it's
they
it's
did.
it's
Yeah.
not what I want. I want to own the place forever and ever till the end of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. So or you can convert to Islam, marry a second wife like a Filipina, and then own
Okay.
the.
Oh,
No.
that's no. But by the way, I was thinking about it because honestly, but we can talk about it in maybe in the next video. That if you want to have two wives, that's the only way.
To convert to Islam, you mean, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only
Yeah.
way. But I don't think it's legal though, or is it like legal in the Philippines to have two wives?
If you're a Muslim, it's legal. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
So
because
so
they they
it's
they, they
really like
respect
legal. It's not just like the Muslim law that is sort of goes in parallel with the uh
can Muslim Filipinos. I'm just gonna check because
no,
marry
because I keep getting
multiple.
this because I just saw a video by somebody who by a woman who is somebody's second or third wife in America, and I don't think it's legal though. I think it's
Yeah,
sort of like between that Muslim community among those Muslims, it is legal, but
it's
in
recognized. It's
in America,
recognized. Yeah, so it's
it's legally recognized.
so it says here, I mean, this is according to Gemini, what Gemini kind of outputted, but Muslim Filipinos can marry multiple wives under the Code of Muslim Personal Laws, which is like some Sharia law in the Philippines, provided they obtain a court permit and can treat all wives with equal justice. But this is complex as it conflicts with the Philippine Civil Code, which bans polygamy. But it's while
Right.
so it's like it's technically polygamy is banned in the Philippines, but the Filipino government
Yeah, but
recognizes Muslim law, right? So
but
it's interesting. So within the context of
I
Muslims,
still don't understand. Like, according to the law of the land, is it like banned or is it some kind of exemption that they have for
it's an
Muslims?
exemption. So polygamy is banned, but there's an exemption for Muslims to be able to practice their own religion. So
In
yeah.
order to become a Muslim, I just need to go to a mosque and say that I want to become a Muslim.
I guess if you wanted a more official like record of it, yeah,
Yeah.
you would need to go probably to a mosque who can give you an official thing that shows that you're Muslim, right? I mean, technically you don't
Right.
need to do that. Technically, you can just recognize
Okay,
what
just
you need to
go and say that,
recognize.
hey, I guess I'm a Muslim. Give
Yeah.
me, I want to
No,
marry
no,
her,
no, I mean,
and then her.
for legal reasons, you probably would need a piece of paper to show that you're Muslim, right? But I'm
Right.
saying from a religious perspective, you don't need to.
Is
You just need to give the
yeah,
testimony, and yeah. But
yeah,
for legal
exactly. Yeah, I'm talking about from the legal reasons.
people,
Paper. And
yeah, yeah.
is that an official paper that you get in the Philippines?
I don't know.
Or
I know that in like because my ex-wife she got one when she converted to Islam. She in but this was in Kuwait, and you get it from the actual
okay,
court, right? Like you go to the mosque, and then the mosque gets it in the court or something, and then she got a piece of
okay,
paper essentially saying it was in the court or in the mosque. But either way, it was done, I think, through the mosque or through the court. Yeah, I think it was done through the
yeah,
court. So it was done through the court in Kuwait. So different places will be different. So you would have to kind of look up how you do it. But you know, in Cyprus there are Muslims there, and there would be ways to officiate your
of
conversion,
course.
right? So
Okay,
yeah.
that's
Mm.
interesting. Okay, yeah, but
Side.
that's the only reason I would consider conversion.
Why do you want
Right.
to become Muslim? You know, polygamy is such an underrated lifestyle, you know? Anyways,
Absolutely, absolutely. But I mean, if we if you take like modern religions, that's the only religion where you can have polygamy. Although I really think that this whole concept is not fully developed in Islam, but it's the only religion where it is at least there's at least a step into that direction, which is good. But
I think
yeah,
it is developed in Islam, but anyways, that's a discussion for another time. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Well, it's
That,
developed to a certain extent, which is considered by many to be enough for them. But yeah, anyway, yeah, well, we can discuss about it in
okay.
the next one.
Yeah. Okay, man. So yeah.